The Palisades fire is going sicko mode, bro. Are you guys exaggerating? Or is it really that bad? Wildfires break out in Southern California. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. That is crazy. What the heck?
Winds are going to get so strong and maybe too strong for them to fly. So that's what we're concerned with. But the bad news is the winds are going to continue to be really dangerous and damaging.
Yeah,
Getting some information per the radio traffic that the Getty Villa is
The
on
light
the
coming
path of
in.
the fire, which is obviously
Your window is orange.
concerning. Concerning, that's right.
I haven't looked outside yet, but it's not.
Impacting the Villa area and impacting Coastline Drive as well.
It's approaching that area along Coastline Drive. And as you were mentioning, Maria, there's about 5 hours left of daylight when you think about it. And that's the operational hours that are going to be most significant for these.
Go outside? No, I'm too scared to look outside.
Straight up, which is great for right now. So we're not looking at these extreme wind gusts.
Right. So this is that window.
Yep. The window of opportunity is right now, and they're certainly trying to take advantage of that.
Well, the fire is blowing in the exact opposite direction, so I think I'm safe in West Hollywood, but it is kind of crazy that it's just like ripping through the Palisades. You're so oblivious, dog, Lamau.
Some change in the wind.
No, it completely, like, it completely moved. I think it went from the valley directly to the ocean. So it's pushing. Here's the live fire map. Let's take a look. Hold on. Never mind. There's other places where there's fires going on as well, but
to be gusting near 85. So we're talking about hurricane wind gusts here, and that can just spread the fire and of course those embers.
this is not the best map. I mean, it is the best map, but like it's nerdy. I need better visuals to understand. Bro, that $1 million house is your house, right? Yeah.
Of this fire, we're getting reports of spotting on both sides of the Palisades Drive area, so it is going further south toward the shore there in the ocean. So please stay alert. If you're
we do have Haley Winslow right now with us. Hey Haley, let us know where you are and who you're with and what's
They have a mandatory evac in the Palisades right now, according to the LA Fire Department. If you're near the Topanga State Park,
just down really from the Getty, it looks very
all the way
ominous.
up to Santa Monica.
The traffic was insane trying to get here, gridlocked, and I've got a very dear friend on the line right now, Eric Robertson, who is trapped in the fire.
Whoa.
I've got him on my other cell phone on speakerphone so he can describe
Whoa, look
what's
at the
going on
plane.
from his perspective. He's been sending me videos. We're having a hard time getting them in. Eric, what's going on where you are?
Well, we're in the middle of the Palisades
Chat,
Highlands.
this is where West Hollywood is, okay? This is where the fire is. And the fire is blowing towards the ocean.
So around us on one side is just billowing smoke. We were standing about 100 yards away from where the fire started. Right when it started, we were out for a walk, and the flames were 30, 50 feet tall. The helicopters dropped, load after load of water, and it still kept spreading so quickly. So it's traveled all the way down the hill. It's crossed Palisades Drive, which is close to Sunset Boulevard, near the PCH. It's our only exit, and there's a car on fire down there. One of our neighbors tried to drive down. They were turned back because the road is surrounded by fire. So we really have to stay put for now. The fire isn't immediately upon us, but it's really close, and it's pretty scary.
Okay, yeah, they're showing your video.
Dude, imagine you're a fish and you're chilling. All of a sudden, this big-ass plane comes in and just picks you up and then dumps you on top of a fire. All of a sudden, you're charred tuna, It's crazy.
It's been gridlocked, and we're hearing now that the Getty Villa is being impacted. They're about to evacuate Coastline Drive, and people are basically having to abandon their cars because they're not able to drive through. What's going on in your neighborhood? Like, what are people? I'm sure they're not, they're, on edge.
Kind of standing by. We're all at our garages outside, kind of waiting for the all clear. Everyone's got their bags packed. We're kind of poised to run away once we're able to. But at the moment, we just have to stay put.
Those planes have fish whistles on them? Wait, what?
There's only that one street, so there's not much we can do for now.
So why can't you get out? What makes you trapped? The road's closed,
What
right?
do you mean, what makes you trapped? Look at the the PCH is already gridlock all the time. It's not shocking that it would be extra gridlock during a fire.
Below us. So we're effectively now above and below and in the middle of the fire.
Wow.
So we're getting evacuation orders from the city, but we can't comply because the road is shut for now.
All right. Well, be really careful. Thank you very much. I'll call you back in a little bit and check on you guys. But yeah, thanks, Eric. Bye. So that was Eric Robertson. He is right there in the middle of it, in the thick of it. And you can hear the sirens. I mean, it's nonstop. I mean, police driving on both sides of the road. Everyone's pretty much driving like a maniac when you can finally move. And yeah, again, the sky just very ominous out here. You can't even see the Santa Monica Mountains at all. And I know Maria's probably kept you very well updated with the weather, but the winds just in the last 40 minutes, I've seen 35-mile-per-hour wind gusts, and it's looking like overnight tonight and tomorrow, it's going to be like 65 to 70-mile-per-hour winds. So this is only the beginning. This isn't even the peak of this monstrous Santa Ana wind event that we're hearing could be the strongest of the season. Araxia?
This shows
yeah,
how
well,
massive
Maria's standing
it
right
is.
next to me, and she was just mentioning how up top the winds are much
even stronger.
Yeah.
So you're reporting this at the surface, and you know that up at the higher elevations, it's going to be gusting now closer to between 60 and 80 plus miles an hour. Captain Eric Scott was saying how the conditions out there today are so bad that we have to go back to, he was saying, even 2011. Was the last time that we saw the dynamics in place.
At least
the
all the billionaire Palisade
conditions.
homes are burning. Brother, I don't know how to explain this to you, but it's not just rich people that lose their lives and their homes in this process. It's going to be quite difficult for you to comprehend, I know. But it's usually the really rich people that can avoid the worst of the worst. And it's almost always the normal folk and poor people that actually get cooked in this process. Like, I'm reminded of the time where Kanye West hired a private brigade of firefighters to basically create a security perimeter around his house.
Soon, but this is just such a hard situation for so many residents there who are under that evacuation order, trying to leave, perhaps can't because of the traffic, but where are they going to go on foot? You know, that's
Not
the big
far.
question, right? How far can they go, and who's going to help? So you can tell that, you know, it's probably like the last resort.
Okay, great. So I think our photographer Armando connected us with this gentleman. Hello, sir. Can you hear me? Can you hear us?
If you could speak into the microphone.
The microphone.
Maybe. There we go.
Hold the microphone up to your mouth. Hold the microphone. There you go.
I don't hear anybody.
Yes, we hear you. Do you hear us?
We hear him, but he can't hear us.
It looks like he's
What is happening with local television, man?
Hold on, hold it.
Okay, they're getting set up right there as we continue to look at this shot from Will Rogers. This is where the command post is going to be set up.
And where Haley is right now. So she was speaking with a friend of hers who's in Palisades Highlands area, right? And they were saying how they were trapped and they had nowhere to go.
That right there is the most LA fit. He's got the cap on, he's got the thermal with the shorts on a fixed gear bike. My man is LA'd out the wazoo right there, picking his nose on live TV.
Hopefully he and his family will be okay.
What's your name? Zen. Yes, I hear you guys.
Hi, do you have someone you need to speak with?
Hey, Roxia. Yeah, this was my new friend. Right when we got off the air, he was showing me a video. He works up there in the Palisades and saw a bunch of cars on fire. Tell me what you saw.
Oh, so just cars backed up on the way up. There's a bunch of cars that are abandoned. So,
Let me show this. You can see it. Come on over here.
What are we doing? Yo, this is...
So he was
a privacy
showing us
screen on.
palm trees on fire, cars on fire.
Yeah, so I'll speed it up. But yeah, so anyways, I started all the way from the top, and all these cars aren't going anywhere because some cars are abandoned, and on the other side you know, on the way up, I saw like a palm tree on fire. So I ended up like brushing it off, taking it off. And then on my way back down, I started seeing the car on fire. So here it is. There it is.
Wait, can you ask
So
him?
all that other side is abandoned. So that's only going to get worse. And then...
See the van, you guys?
Yeah. So,
Can you ask Haley where people are abandoning their cars? Is it on the side of the road or just in the middle of the street?
All fun and games as it gets a freaky note like, oh, I see you. I see you on TV, King. You looking hot as hell. My heart burns for you, like those cars that you're showing.
it's the main road that goes up. I don't know. I don't know.
Abandoning
So you
their
can see
car in the middle
Sandra
of
on
the
both.
street?
Yeah.
Also, if
So,
you're in
I mean,
Malibu,
it's
you
the
know that
main
there's
road,
only
and
the
then there were
PCH
parents
and
that their
Topanga Canyon to drive and escape, so this could be insanely dangerous. Yeah, it's really bad. I'm not defending the earlier chatter. They were obviously wrong, but is it possible they think everyone from Cali are rich AF compared to the trailer park life? Yes, and it's wrong. Obviously, there's no area where there's exclusively wealthy people in California, maybe like Bel Air or something, but even then, there's gardeners, maids, things of that nature living in these houses, and they will always have a harder time evacuating than the rich people.
Try to get it to you as soon as possible. But yeah, it's just the magnitude of this fire. And again, this is only the beginning, already up to 200 acres.
That's another challenge that people are facing there. Thank you, Haley. The fact that the cell service is very spotty in that area to begin with on a good day. Now, on top of that, with these wind gusts and probably some power outages because these power lines are going down because of this fire and the smoke really impacting this area. So imagine if you're a resident living in these communities, trying to get the latest updates or trying to connect with someone.
The average home price in Palisades is 3.5 million, so I don't give a F. Yeah, exactly. The average, which means that every house obviously is for wealthy people, and no such poor people even work in those houses. Also, there's still people. Like, I don't think they should die either. That's a crazy, that's a crazy concept. Once again, we're doing the, I don't care about the systems. I only want the people to suffer. Listen, I am not in the business of undermining American government institutions. I want the American people to suffer. It takes like this. It makes people hate this community chat. Sometimes you got to pretend like you're in a room full of humans. Yeah, I know. It is takes like this that annoy people. And then I can't be the one correcting people because then they go, says you, it's because you're rich too. You should die in a fire as well. And it's like, okay, sure, dog. Just like, please have a semblance of normalcy for once in your life. Oh my Lord.
Speak to those people. It was hard to make that connection, and they probably aren't quite in the mood to speak anyway, trying to get out of the area. Not sure how far they're going to get with having to be on foot, of course. We are still waiting. There, Will Roger State Beach there on the right side of your screen, that parking lot right there is where the command post will be, where we can get hopefully some updated information. It's a little tough right now because obviously all hands on deck and they are focused on getting this fire under control before they're able to relay information out to the public, but that'll be the gathering point.
And it's tough for news crews to even get there. We just saw one news van pull up, but you can see this fire broke out at 10:30,
Hold on, I'm gonna look outside,
and at
bro.
this
This
point
is
now,
crazy.
just crews are arriving. Even Haley getting there, and she said traffic was so backed up.
In their cars,
stuck
trying
in
to make
traffic.
their way
You're not
out
gonna believe
of
this,
the area.
but there is literally nothing out. Like, we have clear blue skies, dude. Clear blue skies. I don't see no smoke. It's blowing entirely away from me. When I lived in the Brentwood area, which is ironically also a very wealthy neighborhood, where I, of course, lived in the old ass apartments with like multiple roommates when I was broke as hell. I remember once having to evacuate.
Changed, you know, when they depart and usually go out to sea.
Right.
Now they're going east and taking off that way. Even President Biden canceling his planned news conference here in dedication for 2 new monuments in Southern California, canceled that. They're going to be doing that virtually instead.
We had some video earlier of Ontario International Airport and how windy it was there. So really, this is just a reminder for everybody, if you live in the area under this.
Gato assures he was actually broke AF at one point. No, I'm reminding people that like there are literally people that live in apartments there that are broke, just like I was, even though I was in a rich neighborhood technically.
Parking restrictions, and if you're at home, you want to turn your car so that it's ready to go. You want to reverse in so that you are ready to go when or if that time comes for you, especially around this area here in the Palisades, Santa Monica, Malibu, just downwind of this fire.
So we have what are we, like 4 hours, a little bit over 4 hours of daylight, right?
Yeah, sunset's going to be about 5 p.m. And then after that, it's going to get rapidly darker, of course, but that is unfortunately when we expect the winds to start to really pick up again later this evening into the overnight hours. So it's really critical that they get a handle on this fire right now. The fixed wing, the fixed wing aircraft is able to go up. I don't know, I haven't seen any.
It's crazy because there's a fire on Sunset in La Cienega.
From this vantage point, but hopefully
as the shatter is saying,
as well.
But like I can't see anything. Like there's nothing here.
That wind is, though, you know. But this is, as you mentioned, the window of opportunity to really make some progress.
Like there's
on
a
this.
it's out already. Oh, okay.
It is challenging, and it's only going to get worse.
Yeah, we heard Captain talk about how when you see a fire, those first 20 minutes are so critical. And if they can't get a handle on it, then they're going to be talking hundreds, right? Versus just a few acres.
Right, and we saw
that happen.
Yep, we saw that in front of our eyes. It started as 10 acres. It blew up to more than 200.
Like within half an hour.
Yeah, within half an hour. Well under an hour at this point, and then now, who knows?
It's definitely grown.
Right.
We're over 200 acres.
Yeah, for sure. I know that they're setting up the command center and that post in Will Rogers, that state beach, and so hopefully at some point we'll get an update, an official update from them. But at the moment, as we take a look at this live image, look at the tops of these trees and how much stronger those winds are. So you can imagine where the fire is burning, how much stronger even those winds are blowing, and from all directions, because fires create their own weather. And although the prevailing winds are coming out of the northeast, in and around the fire, it's just really very erratic, and it's coming from all directions. As that air rises, it sucks in all the air around it.
And as we get closer to nightfall, the wind is really going to pick up, you said.
Yeah, those wind gusts are expected to be between 60 to 80 miles an hour. It could even clock in between 90 and 100. That's hurricane force winds in terms of those wind gusts. So that can do a lot of damage, not just from the wind itself, but just in terms of the fire and how much it's going to help it to spread and carry those embers, far away from the start of the fire.
And we've been looking at the resources that have been battling this blaze for quite some time now, especially from the air. We've been seeing those super scoopers pick up that ocean water and make those dramatic drops. But we do know that there are more than 100 firefighters at this point tackling this and trying to...
Where emergency crews are able to get through to some extent. But if you take a look just beyond, you can see the fire on the hillside and the winds that are whipping. Seeing the danger that still remains and people still little by little trying to make it down that hill.
Oh, Cybertruck.
Yeah, Carmer Dickerson there setting the scene.
Yo,
for
stay
us,
away from that.
Live there on Palisades Drive, and
as you can see, there's a significant loom up behind us. We're going to show you on the map where the fire is, where it's going, and what our evac concerns are. This is the Pacific Palisades Highland community. The fire is burning in a westward direction through here, so we want an evacuation warning for all of this area that is going to be from Topanga Canyon.
For people asking, that's actually not that far away from me at all, technically. Technically, it's like, without traffic, 25 to 30 minutes away, which is really close for LA standards. Having said that, or proximity-wise is even closer than that if you straight shot it, but because it's in the mountains, it's harder to get to. Having said that, the fire is going in the exact opposite direction. It's going away from me. Yeah, it's the winds.
Thank you for being with us.
Central Committee. It is the winds. We have 80 80 to 50. They were talking about 80 to 50 mile gusts of wind, and of course, predictably, the winds immediately. The winds immediately turned this into a massive issue. Winds have the capacity to knock out power lines because our infrastructure is not hardened against that sort of thing. Because why would it be? That would be woke. Also, Israel is in desperate need of funds. Hello, don't be selfish and anti-Semitic. Also, we do give billions of dollars to these the public utility companies anyway to harden their infrastructure, and then they never do it because, excuse me, that's the profit motive. And then on top of that, essentially things that help. I don't even know what actually started this one, but the winds carry the fire pretty fast. What you're seeing on the ground.
Much for that. We want to touch base now with NBC4's Alex Rosier. He's live.
It's pretty
Alex,
crazy,
what are you
dude.
Seeing? Who are you with? What information do you have for us now?
I don't have IFB. Hey guys,
there's only been one time where I had to evacuate. There's only been one.
We're seeing in this neighborhood.
There's only one time where I've ever had to evacuate, chat, and that was when I was with Fish back in the day when I was living in Brentwood. But that was like I think it was like a fire that was in the vicinity, but it moved past us. But I still had to evacuate one time many years ago. And the way I evacuated was by going to work, basically. I went to work.
Neighborhoods, and it's starting to happen. This is Lockman, and it's burned sort of around this knoll for some reason. We're on a ridge, but it's burned down into Palisades Drive, down into that canyon, and it's gone over to Bienvenida down that canyon. So there's that school, St. Matthew's over there, and Calvary on Palisades Drive. Both, I'm sure, are evacuated.
So schools and homes impacted. A number of neighbors have already evacuated. What was...
How ironic. A little bit ago, someone was saying the fog is fake. Now he's shaking in his billionaire shoes in his $10 trillion house. God is good. Hell yeah, baby. That's right. God is punishing me for questioning, undermining the narrative of the fog. God was like, oh yeah, you don't like the fog? Guess what, dude? Here, I'm going to give you... I'm going to give you extra fog. This one is dark fog.
Our house down by the village and not this home on Lockman. It's been in the Highlands. We lived there for a little while. It's been around, but it's never burned this area.
As you stand here, the wind's blowing, the smoke around us, what's going through your mind?
It's a strong wind. It's stronger than normal, so that's what drives the fire. There could be an ember a half mile away, and it catches the wind, and it lands over here and starts a whole new deal. I've seen several of them just start out of nowhere. Like a big plume took off over to our right, and it's like, there goes another one. So if something like that were to land around us, we could put it out. That'd be great. But if not, we'll get out of here.
Stuart, thank you for your time. Stay safe out there. I wish the best for you and your family and your neighborhood.
Take care of yourself.
I appreciate that. But we again are here at Lockman and Glenhaven, watching this fast-moving fire, the wind shifting in a variety of directions, smoke around us, and at many times we've seen flames on the hillside so close to several...
Seems like a white neighborhood. Oh, well, in general. Is this affecting poor people or rich people? Hopefully rich. Yeah, it's okay. It's cool if random people die, dude.
And the police department who are helping.
This is the woke leftist version of what like liberals do all the time that I get really annoyed with whenever there's like a massive hurricane impacting like a red state, and they'll come in here and be like, well, they voted for this. I'm like, oh my God. What do I have to do? Bludgeon you in the head with empathy? Like, how do we do this? I get so annoyed when liberals do this about like red states, and I routinely yell at chat, and it's the very same leftists who would probably get mad at liberals for saying that turn around and go, oh, it's awesome. Like, this fire is not targeting the bourgeois, okay? That's not how this works. What are you saying? Oh, I'm just glad that these are woke revolutionary fires that are doing permanent first world genocide. Like, everyone is flammable. There is no extra protocol here. There's nothing, like, it's not divine punishment for the class violence dished out by the bourgeois. What are you guys saying? And don't come at me. Oh, it's just people. I'm the worst person to clap back against this because everyone goes, it's because you're rich. You're a class enemy as well. It's like, yes, you're right. Me and my whole family should die in a burning fire, okay, for the crimes that I have committed, just like those random people as well. And also, just like the people in Florida deserve their untimely demise due to the hurricanes because they voted for it. They voted for the hurricanes. The immortal spirit of Lenin rides on the burning horse of class struggle. What is this? They wouldn't have empathy for you if the shoe was on the other foot. No, my point is like this is something that I get really annoyed by when people talk about with like Florida or North Carolina or like random places where there's like literally just chatters that live there, and other liberals will come into the community and will just say some of the most annoying things, right? Like empathy is not supposed to be transactional. And not only that, but also it's just like it's just like a silly thing to say. Most people will look at you like you're not a human being.
Yeah, it's very congested, and then you have a lot of cars, and sometimes people will just leave the car right in the middle of the road.
Is there already no danger? No.
Off on the side of the curb. That helps for access and egress, but again, this is why it's important to leave now. You don't want to have this. We know this is coming. This is coming. So to the communities to the west of this, that if you're in the path of this fire, leave
Why
now.
didn't these people leave earlier? Brother, do you know how fast a wildfire happens? Like, this wasn't like hurricane warning for like, 5 days or something. No, it literally happened in a span of 30 minutes. The fire started. I don't know if you know this. Fires are very sudden, okay? They are kind of notorious for being very sudden. Very sudden. Like, and depending on the wind gust, they can travel very quickly. There's wildfire season in California, but even then, no one is expecting it to happen. Say you live up north without saying you live up north. No, I mean, there are areas prone to wildfires for sure. But even then, it's like quite difficult. It's quite difficult to get out of its way. Chatter has never heard the expression spreads like a wildfire. Yeah, I don't really understand. I don't know how that happened. Speaking of, you should probably have a go bag ready. Okay. The thing is, I live in the middle of one of the most densely slammed urban areas in Los Angeles. I'm in the middle of a city. Like, this is the only area that is like closely resembling a city. I do not live around a forest. I do not live in the pathway of brush fires. I'm good. Obviously, if there was any fire that was like any wind direction that was coming, yeah, yeah, there's no leaving. If it comes to you, every highway will be slammed. Yeah, I'm cooked. It was first reported like 2 hours ago, and since then over 200 acres have burned. For chatters who need context. Yeah. Dog, you literally have strong winds coming later today? No, we've already been having strong winds. Fire in Portugal trapped and killed 66 people trying to escape in literal cars. Welcome to the moist critical during the Florida hurricane stream experience from chat. Yeah, but it's not even... If the fire is coming my way, I'm cooked. Literally and figuratively. Okay. Why is there no infrastructure for this? I don't fully know. I mean, I guess like you can do a better job of depending on how this fire started, but like someone could just have thrown a cigarette bud, you know what I mean? Someone could have just straight up thrown a cigarette bud